Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nancy Peltonen, and I'm the President and CEO of the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce, and you are joining us for another Chamber Chat. We appreciate you being with us today as we have, for the very first time, we are thrilled to have Florida Power and Light as our guests, and they will be presenting information on really how to ensure that you restart your businesses correctly, savings that you'll be able to incur now, which is great. They are just such a great company. So we're looking forward to that. First of all, though, I just want to tell you of a few things that the Chamber has coming up, because we have continued to have our events, whether they're virtual. So on Friday, we have our ambassador meeting from 1 to 2. And if you have always wondered what ambassadors do for chambers, then join us on our Zoom call. It really is great information of, supporting other members, making sure they feel comfortable and welcoming them to the chamber. And we have a new job right now that we're hoping you're going to be able to assist us with. So that's tomorrow. Tuesday is our Brevard Business Professionals, and we are making you get up early. It's 8 a.m. To 9:30, our usual time, but at least you don't have to drive there. So we want to thank Shannon Gronage. She is owner of Business Acceleration Summit, and I want to thank her for allowing us to use this Zoom platform. But she will be guiding us through networking, so you'll be able to actually network with the other people that are attending at that event. And Linda Cobb will be talking about working for yourself. A lot of people are now changing their professions, sometimes forced to. And really, she's going to be able to talk about how it can work for you. So Thursday then will be Duncan Moore with 142 Productions, and he, is the expert on video. So he's going to give us some tips and tricks of doing these virtual videos, how you can easily do it yourself without a professional. But for those companies that are looking for professional videographers, 142 Production is just unbelievable. Every video I've seen them do is just top notch. So we're looking forward to that next Thursday. As of now, we still have Congressman Bill Posey for our May 6th luncheon. They have been called back for that week, but they think that they'll probably have to go back sooner, and that he'll still be available to do video for our luncheon. So that's May 6th. And then our next happy hour, a lot of you were wondering when our next happy hour is. So on the 8th at the Friday from, I think we do 5 to 6, is our multicultural networking happy hour. So that's what we have coming up for the next few weeks. And Carolina has put out the calendar of events, so check that out on our Facebook page or our website. And I want to do a shout out to Carolina, because she's just been amazing in making sure our webinars go smoothly and working with everybody. And she's just getting the information out. So I know I've been just sending her so much stuff, but she's just phenomenal. So thank you, Carolina, for doing that. So today we do have a sponsor, and that is Joe Gruder. He is one of the trustees with the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce, and he's with JAG Financial. So we wanted to give Joe a few minutes to talk about his business. I know he's in the thick of the tax season, even though it was pushed back a little bit. But Joe, if you'd like to share a little bit with our audience.
Sure. Hey, everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm Joseph Gruder. I'm a certified financial planner and also an enrolled agent, which is a IRS licensed tax specialist, known as the Money Doctor, and I'm the founder and CEO of JAG Financial Services. Since 1983, we have helped individuals and business owners navigate the financial jungle, not only as a trusted advisor, but as a skilled guide who is always by your side on the journey. There are many good financial advisors and tax people out there, but very few who can combine the two specialties to give you the best of both worlds under one roof. We can also assist with any IRS problems you might have. Now, during this unsettling time, we stand ready to offer second opinions, offer advice to reduce taxes, protect your nest egg. If you're changing jobs, we can help with rollovers, give you places where you can better invest your money or protect it. If your current advisors are not reaching out to you, give us a call. We'd be honored to assist you. Our office has remained open to serve our community and clients through this entire time. I can be reached at 321-777-8482, or you can contact us via our website, which is jagfs.com. And I thank you for this opportunity to sponsor this web meeting. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Carolina.
Thanks, Joe, for coming on. We appreciate it. And if you didn't get his information, we have it on the Facebook page, and you can always call the chamber and we can forward the information to you. So thank you, Joe Gruder with JAG Financial. So now we have, I think those of you from Brevard County all know and love Bart Getchins. He is the Area External Affairs Manager with Florida Power and Light. He is at every function that we go to, always promoting Florida Power and Light, and really keeping, I think, the business community and the leaders updated on what Florida Power and Light is doing. He's the hardest working guy during the hurricanes, and I know that we always appreciate when he's able to be at one of our luncheons or today with us. So Bart, I'm going to turn this over to you. Thank you for being on with your team today, and I'll let you take it away.
Well, thank you, Nancy. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. And I'd like to thank you, Nancy, and also Joe for sponsoring this. And Nancy, I'd like to thank you for your continued support and partnership. You and your team have been such incredible resources to your members and the community. And I'd also like to welcome the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and the membership to this webinar. But first, I'd like to also thank all of you, and I hope you're all safe and well. And thank you, because together we are going to get through this crisis. I'm very confident of that. And I think we're seeing some positive results now. Today, we wanted to share with you some helpful information regarding how we are dealing with the virus and how we can help you, our valued customers. Doing the right thing is a core value at FPL, which is why we will always do the right thing for you and our communities. We're committed to helping all of us get through this difficult and unsettling time together. So let's start talking about what we're doing to keep our employees and you safe. And FPL won't stop delivering affordable, reliable power that you can count on. We take very seriously our duty to serve all 5 million of our customer accounts. Now, you look at an account, probably 2 people per home, so we probably have more than 10 million customers that look to us as a leader for our services. The company is responding to the coronavirus challenge by providing the critical infrastructure and electricity that powers our state's hospitals, our healthcare facilities, emergency response centers, and all our residential and business customers. And I wanted to share with you a brief video on how our employees are dealing with the virus, working safely, and practicing social distancing as we continue to provide you with clean, affordable, and reliable service 24/7, 365. So Carolina, if you could cue that video up, it's 30 seconds. So we might have a little sound issue, but you know, it's important that when you see our crews out there, and I know a lot of people like to go out and engage and speak to them, that we ask that you please keep a distance of 6 feet, just for their protection as well as yours. So, all right, well, thank you, Carolina. We are accelerating savings to you during this pandemic. I wanted to share with you some very good news. FPL announced its plans to significantly lower bills for the second time this year and fast track the savings to you amid this ongoing coronavirus epidemic. Subject to Florida Public Service Commission approval on April 28th and beginning May 1st, FPL plans to issue a one-time decrease of nearly 25% for the typical residential bill as a result of our lower fuel costs. Business customers will also see a significant one-time decrease in May that will vary depending on your rate structure. This is the right time to do this in the fastest way to infuse our customers with much needed money amid this pandemic. We're doing a lot of things right for our customers. If you are experiencing hardship as a result of the virus, FPL has resources available to help you, and to the extent they are available, we will continue to connect you with resources from federal, state, and local authorities. Customers can learn more at fpl.com/help. We have also implemented the same policies that we do during major crisis events, and we have suspended electrical disconnections. We are providing payment extensions and waiving certain late payment fees for you in a hardship situation while Florida is under a state of emergency. We do ask, however, that you continue to pay your bills to avoid building up a large balance, which may be difficult to pay off later. We are continuing to harden and make advancements to the smart grid. In spite of the virus, we are continuing to harden our systems to further invest in our advanced technology and other system enhancements to reduce outages and restore service even faster. We have invested more than $4 billion since 2006 to improve our services, which include strengthening our main power lines serving critical community infrastructures, clearing vegetation, very important, and inspecting 1.2 million poles and replacing older poles where necessary. We currently have more than 5 million smart meters in operation, plus 25,000 other intelligent devices that are being installed every year. And we've also invested $2 billion in our solar generation. And my last topic is June 1st starts yet another storm season. I don't even like to use that H word. If this pandemic has taught us anything, it's that we all need to have a plan. At FPL, we have many plans. And I have to ask the membership and those watching, do you have a plan? We are constantly reviewing our plans, including the possibility of restoring your service during the pandemic. Our plans include to continue to practice social distancing and strategically locating our company leadership at separate locations so that they are available to lead our restoration efforts. It is our passion, our obsession to continue to have the ability to provide you with reliable, clean, and affordable service through this crisis situation 24/7, 365. Please start thinking now about reviewing or developing your personal and business plan, your inventories, and please note there's no need to hoard toilet paper or paper towels. Now it's my pleasure to introduce my colleagues and subject matter experts, Tiffany and Richard. Tiffany Cox has been an FPL employee for 20 years. The majority of her career has been directly related to customer service and energy conservation. She was a residential energy expert for many years where she would go into residents' homes and help them find ways to conserve energy. She then moved to the business sector where she became a business energy expert. She obtained certifications in HVAC and is a certified energy auditor. In this role, she is dedicated to helping small, medium business owners find ways to conserve energy and lower their bills. It's because of her background in energy conservation with both the residential and business customers, along with her certifications, that she has transitioned into a leadership role. She is now a lead energy solution specialist where she leads a team comprised of both residential and business energy experts. And I also wanted to introduce Richard Brooks. He is a principal engineer for Florida Power and Light. He is a native Floridian, born and raised in Jacksonville. He went to that orange and blue school, also known as University of Florida, graduating from there with a BS in mechanical engineering. Richard is a registered professional engineer in the state of Florida. He has extensive backgrounds in commercial and industrial HVAC systems. He has worked for Fortune 500 companies such as Johnson Control, York, and Trane. Currently, he resides in Fort Myers, supporting FPL's demand side management group, focusing on HVAC rebates and the Solar Together program. So now I'm going to turn it over to Tiffany. Thank you for joining us, our energy experts.
Thank you so much, Bart. I appreciate it. And Nancy, thank you as well. I too thank the Chamber for allowing us the opportunity to be here today and hopefully provide some helpful information to our business customers, you know, many of whom are either shut down or operating at minimum staff. You know, either way, it's outside of your normal working parameters and it's a hardship. So again, thank you. And so my purpose for being here today is to provide information regarding resources for your business and tips to conserve energy both at your business and at home. Because for some of you, you know, including myself, you know, you're working from home. And I guess that's a great time to plug the whole working from home. So anything that happens in the background here is truly because I am working from home. So this is going to be a nice chamber chat. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for welcoming us. And I'll let Carolina get the presentation started. Thank you so much, Carolina. So how is FPL helping right now? You know, there are so many things on everyone's minds right now. And the last thing we want you to be thinking about is, how am I going to keep the lights on at my business? And how am I going to keep the lights on at home? Right? So we want you to be assured that we're working with you to make sure you keep those lights on. So we're lowering May bills, as you heard from Bart. The residential customers can expect to see a reduction of nearly 25%, and business customers can expect to see nearly 30% reduction. So that's going to be a big help on both sides. And we've implemented new policies that will remain in effect while Florida is under this state of emergency. And I know you've heard them from Bart, but I just want to emphasize them again, that we are providing payment extensions. We are waiving certain late fees for the hardship customers. We've also taken the initiative to suspend disconnects. And again, all of these policies will remain in effect while Florida is under this state of emergency. Next. So in addition to some of the temporary policies that we put in place, like, we encourage you to visit us frequently at fpl.com, where we have tips and tools to help you manage your energy usage and expenses. We also have business energy experts available to communicate to you online. You can send them an email at bee@fpl.com, and it's BEE for Business Energy Expert at fpl.com, or by calling the number that you can see on the presentation. It's 800-375-2434. You know, but most important, we want you to explore the resources provided to you by federal, state, and local agencies, and in particular, the CARES Act. And we've seen on TV additional funding is being approved, and it will help during these times. Next. So let's get into some of the energy saving tips, right? So for air conditioning systems, you know, you want to avoid overcooling spaces that you're not using as much in your business, like dining rooms, maybe conference rooms, lobbies, retail spaces. And in most cases, we recommend you raise the temperature to 82 degrees or higher when it's unoccupied. But if for your particular business, you're in a position to turn your AC completely off, then please do so. You know, so you know your business better than we do. So keep in mind that raising thermostat settings, you know, that may not be appropriate for all businesses. For example, you know, there's candy stores, libraries, places with artwork. You know, if your business has leather goods like shoes, purses, you know, those are places where temperature and humidity are factors, and you may need to maintain a level of humidity to 65% or less. So at a bare minimum, you know, use shades and blinds if you can to reduce that heat gain. Next. Some other HVAC related items to consider would be your ventilation and exhaust. So these are things that maybe we don't think about sometimes, but if your facility is unfortunately shut down or unoccupied, you may be able to reduce the outside air intake. Turn off or reduce your exhaust air systems, like your bathroom exhaust fans, the kitchen exhaust hoods. But as always, you know, code compliance is key with any business. So please check your local codes for those allowable minimums. Next. There are some additional quick and effective ways to help you conserve energy. So let's unplug or turn off unnecessary appliances. You know, with this whole social distancing, you know, break rooms, they might be empty. So turn off equipment in there, you know, and don't forget about water coolers, water heaters, you know, turn those things off. And where possible, turn off other office equipment such as computers, printers, copy machines, or if these are things that you still use, but at a minimum, just remember to set them to sleep mode when they're not in use. And if your business has a pool and it's closed, consider reducing the pump runtime to the minimum needed to maintain the quality and, again, the code compliance. Next. For businesses that have like large amounts of refrigeration, and there's a lot out there, you can see if you can consolidate some of that refrigeration, and this will give you the opportunity to, you know, unplug, turn off the ones that you're not using. You know, those things that we don't think about as well, the refrigerated vending machines. You know, if no one wants that cold soda, it's empty, no one's there, turn those off, and turn off the ice machines, those ice makers, if they're not in use. So with regard to lighting, you know, by now we all know LED is more efficient than incandescent lights, and that we should turn off lights when they're not needed, unless it's needed for safety and emergency lighting purposes. But depending on your business type, you may still have or still have the need for lighting that is other than LED. So aside from the obvious reason of conserving energy, we recommend you turn off unnecessary lights because of the heat gain that is associated with lighting that's other than LED. And that added heat directly impacts your AC thermostat setting. And for outside lighting, you know, again, where practical, and we say where practical because we don't want you to sacrifice security for savings. You know, so where practical, if you are able to adjust the operating schedules for something such as, you know, landscape lighting, please do so. And we have an equipment checklist that you can download at fpl.com. Next. And another great tip is to visit your business at night or when it's shut down. You know, do things like walk around, listen to see if you hear any running equipment. If you're able to, take temperature readings, observe lighting settings, and then do your best to reduce or turn off unnecessary equipment. You know, so, okay, let's say you focused on that, you followed the tips, you've made whatever adjustments that were specific to your business needs. You know, then you can visit our business energy dashboard on fpl.com to track your usage, improvement, and identify trends. And this is not just a recommendation specific to what's going on now. You know, you want to get in the habit of utilizing the business energy dashboard as your personal tool to track your electric usage moving forward. Don't just think about saving energy and money now. Let's continue that mindset to help keep your business strong for the future. Next. And many of our customers are now working from home. I shared with you I work from home myself. So we want to provide you with tips to save energy there as well. So with your thermostat and the auto setting, we recommend you cool your home to 78 or higher when home and 82 or higher when away. Now, I am not saying that 78 degrees is the most comfortable setting, but right now the focus is on saving money and not so much on comfort. So check your AC filters frequently, replace them as needed. With more folks at times being home, you know, that filter can get dirty quicker now. So that's why we say just kind of check it a bit more often than you did in the past. Remember to turn off ceiling fans when you leave the room, you know, and for those of us with kids at home, the schools are closed. So gaming systems may be utilized more. And we just ask you, remember to turn those off when not in use. I know I personally walk around my house and I do this on a regular basis. My kids are completely clueless to turning those things off when they're done. So we've already talked about the online tool to help business owners track their usage, but we also have an online tool for our residential customers. Visit FPL.com to activate your energy analyzer and track your usage. You know, maintain your energy saving habits in your business and at home. Next. When all of this is over, and we can get back to our normal business operations. And this is for our business customers only. You know, we want you to be aware of demand peaks. Now, in order for you to avoid peaking your demand, you would need to know what demand is. So everything we plug in or turn on, and I use that, demands a certain amount of electricity in order to operate properly. So demand is a term used to describe how much electricity is used at any given moment, and it is measured in kilowatts or kW on your bill. So while the total amount of electricity used, that's measured in kilowatt hours. Just keep in mind, demand is measured in kW. So most businesses have an electric meter that tracks and records the highest 30-minute level of demand for each billing period. And as a demand customer, you are then billed only for the highest 30-minute demand peak out of the entire billing period. And as an example, let's just say we have two customers. Both customers use the same 20,000 kilowatt hours or kWh over the course of just 1 month, one billing period. And the first customer, they use their 20,000 kilowatt hours just in a steady electric flow, steady flow over that 30-day billing period. While the second customer uses much of their 20,000 kWh in bursts over a few hours each day. So they have that greater demand. Next slide. So the bottom line is that although both customers had the same usage, that same 20,000 kilowatts, the second customer had that greater demand for the usage and would be billed more. So again, I stress this is only for our business customers. And depending on your usage, you may already be on a demand rate. You may already be that demand customer. So my whole reason for mentioning peaking demand is because, you know, when we get back to the normal business operations, you know, if you are not normally a demand customer, then peaking your demand could cause you to transition into being billed on a demand rate. And so this was kind of a quick introduction to demand if you've never heard about it. So if you would like more examples on demand, you can always visit FPL.com. You want to go to the rates section, and in there you'll find information about demand. Next. So I've talked about the what and the why, you know, what is demand and why you should avoid peaking it when you return back to normal business hours. So let's talk about how, you know, how do we avoid peaking that demand? You know, if your business is temporarily shut down, now's time to develop a strategy for reopening. You know, I mean, in terms of electric consumption. So avoid starting all of your equipment at the same time. You know, we don't all want to be so excited that when we return, we go in and just start turning on all the ACs, coffee makers, ice machines, vending machines, etc., all at the same time. So instead, we are suggesting you stagger the start of appliances, you know, AC units in particular, maybe 15 to 20 minutes apart. You know, decide what you're going to turn on maybe 48 and 24 hours prior to opening. You know, maybe you want to start the ice machine or machines if you have multiple 48 hours prior to opening, but you decide to wait until 24 hours prior to opening to plug in the refrigerated vending machines and so on. So really, we just want to make sure that you have that plan for electric consumption when you open. Next. As we continue to talk about ways to minimize your peak demand when you return, let's think about restaurants, for example. So you stagger the start time of your AC units. So now where possible, allow them to reach that set point before you start your electric cooking equipment and exhaust systems. Maybe for office settings, the staggering continues. And only turn on lighting in areas where needed until the AC has reached that set temperature. So the whole idea is simply to start things kind of more in a domino effect instead of all at once. Allow the AC units time to reach their set temperature prior to adding more load to your demand. Next. So funding is critical to a lot of businesses right now. And I know you've probably seen this information before. I just want to touch on it a bit. You know, there's several government programs you can apply for, including the Small Business Administration Debt Relief. You can go to their website at sba.gov and just get a lot of information about eligibility, requirements, and so on. So one of the many benefits of being the chamber member is you have access to resources. And Nancy has been working with many of you on these programs shown, and she can share additional information if you have any questions. Next. We always remain focused on delivering, affordable, reliable power for all of our customers, right? But we also want you to know we are here to help. I've mentioned tracking your business usage on the business energy dashboard. Let's say you log on and you feel, that you need assistance with that. You're saying, I logged on, I'm not really sure how to do this, or you have additional questions. Please contact that business energy expert at the BEE at FPL.com. And remember, it's BEE for Business Energy Expert at FPL.com. Or you can, again, call the number 800-375-2434. So as Floridians, neighbors, family at FPL, we want you to know we are in this together. And we truly hope you, your employees, and your families stay safe during this difficult time. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. That was fabulous. And do you mind if we post some of that information then on our Facebook page so that people will be able to access those resources you had mentioned?
That would be fantastic. Any way we can help.
Okay, we had one question. She said this was fabulous information, and she wanted to know, in order to take advantage of the benefits that you were announcing with the lower rates and that for May, do they have to contact you to let you know that they're having a hardship, or is it just going to be automatic on your bills?
So there's really two questions there. There's number one, do I need to do anything? No. We're going to do that automatically for you. And yes, I would welcome you again to contact or go online and access fpl.com/help. There'll be many resources there for you to assist you.
Thanks, Bart. Okay, we'll see if there's some other ones. I think that was really clear with the starting up, because I think that demand billing, I was a little confused about that. Bart actually shared a really great example, especially for realtors. Bart, do you want to share that about that big building? Sure. And what happened when they went in and did exactly what you're telling us not to do?
There was a realtor that went in and they wanted to show this empty department store, and they cranked on the AC, they cranked on the lighting, they cranked on all kinds of motors. And it drove up what Tiffany was talking about, that peak demand. So the kilowatt hour usage was very low, but the bill was very high because they went in and cranked everything up all at once. And again, this is only for business accounts. So if you're at home, it's not always wise to flip everything on all at once, but you probably don't need to, because everything's running on a scheduled basis anyway. But at your business, it is important to start it up slowly, so you don't incur these unneeded charges.
That's great information for commercial realtors who go in and do show these empty buildings, and that's perfect information. Okay, we also were wondering about, well, I'm most interested in this because I feel like I had a part of it when we went down to Miko and we got to drill one of the panels in for the solar panels. So can you tell me, it's just I drive by there and I'm just like, I was part of that. But you guys really are leaders in the solar industry. I mean, you've been very forward thinking on that. I even saw they were talking about being able to fly over, and you're going to have these panels that they are going to see in the water. I don't know, I was reading about that somewhere, but you guys just have these everywhere. Can you just tell us a little bit about, you know, how FPL really is helping our environment and your initiatives that you have going on?
Certainly, we want to be good. We want to be good stewards of the environment, and solar is certainly helping us get there. You know, we currently have. You mentioned the site in Miko, our Barefoot Bay site. Something we're very proud of. That is a 75 megawatt site. So, just for rule of thumb, I guess you could say, what is a megawatt? A hospital might use 2.5 megawatts. So these are 75 megawatts, about 330,000 panels over about 500 acres there in Barefoot Bay. We currently have 3 that are in Vero Beach, just west of that outlet mall on State Road 60. We have one planned for the Palm Bay area. And also we are going to be placing one right across from the visitor center at the Kennedy Space Center. We also have one of the oldest solar sites in our system here in Brevard County on North Courtney. That's a 10 megawatt site. And you mentioned the floating one. That was something we tried out in Miami. You know, we always want to experiment and pilot and see how that works and see if it's applicable elsewhere. So we're very proud of our solar. We're looking at installing 30 million solar panels by the year 2030. So 30 million by 2030, something we're very proud of as we continue to provide you with clean, reliable, and affordable electricity. This reduces our dependency on any fuel, and it is clean. So it's something we are extremely proud of.
And Bart, I remember when you spoke at our luncheon, you had mentioned that we have here in Florida, your customers have one of the lowest rates in the entire country. Is that correct? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we do continue to provide great affordable rates. And if you look, there are, I believe we are, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiffany, but I think there's only 5 states that have cheaper electricity. So we are cheaper than 45 different states.
Wow.
So, and we're continuing to try to drive down that cost. And a lot of it is with the efficiency, the smart grid. You know, you look in your community in Palm Bay, how many poles have been replaced? Mm-hmm. So we're stronger and more resilient. And that helps drive down costs too of restoration from hurricanes.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Yeah, we see them. They were out in front of the chamber going down US 1, so we saw them replacing all the poles. So, you know, it was it's nice to see, because I think for a lot of the business community, being able to get back up and running quickly after usually the hurricanes is a huge problem. And so seeing that you guys really are putting money back into the system and making sure it's upgraded is important to the business community.
It's an investment in our communities too, because it's providing jobs.
Absolutely. Let me check in the chat room. We have a lot of people on with us. They just said, they keep saying what a great chamber chat we've had today and such fabulous information. So they really wanted to thank FPL,
That's great to hear.
you guys for doing that. Yeah. Joe said he saw you at the Disney Resort in Vero Beach last night, so he was looking forward to your presentation. I guess you were at the Disaster Recovery Expo. So he said,
not last night.
No, last year. Did I say last night?
Yes.
Oh yeah, last year.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm reading, yes. Last year, and he said it was great. So yeah, excellent information. We've got one new message here. Okay, so not any more questions. Is there anything else? I know we have Richard on the line. Richard, was there anything that you wanted to add in there that we might not have covered?
Oh, I think we touched base on, you know, most of the important things. We do have HVAC rebates available on the commercial side. We have 5 of them. So if someone's interested in upgrading their HVAC system, maybe FPL can help with some of our rebates.
Well, that's great. And that's that information is right on the FPL website?
Yes, it is.
Perfect.
Nancy, I just wanted to put a plug in for our app. If you go to fpl.com, you can download the app to your cell phone, and that has so many wonderful features on it. And you can report an outage, you can pay a bill. It's very helpful during storm season to see what the status is of maybe an outage or something like that. So I would highly recommend that. And I just wanted to share a story. I think, I can be a little bit of obsessive, where I went to Publix the other night and I was in a strip mall, and I went walking past this facility where it's been closed down for 6 weeks. And I looked inside and they had a wall of probably 6 huge TV screens that were playing. And I thought, well, maybe they're open. So I went over and peeked in and they were closed. To me, it's just kind of unneeded. I mean, I don't know why they would have a reason to have those on. And, I've been in restaurants before where I'm looking up at the ceiling and I see 8 paddle fans. They're all turning clockwise as they should in the summertime. And yet here's one going counterclockwise. And it drives me crazy. And my wife thinks I'm crazy and obsessive, because I'll usually call the manager over and say, why is that pedal fan going the wrong way? Because it's not helping you out. And he'll say, well, I didn't even know. And I've gotten up on chairs before to turn it the right way. And, the whole restaurant's looking at me, but I always look and think, this is what we're like at FPL. We try to find ways to save you energy and make sure your appliances are running efficiently. So, it's things like that that really, you look around, and it would be, I equate it, because my wife would say, was that really necessary? And I always tell her, if you saw a neighbor left their garden hose on, wouldn't you knock on their door and say your water's running? Because it would be a waste. And it's the same thing. When you don't use energy properly, it's going to get costly for you. And we're trying to save our customers money in any possible way we can. And we're here to assist and help you out.
Thanks, Bart. And so one more time, what's the name of the app for people to download?
You can go to fpl.com.
Okay.
And download the app. So go on your cell phone and look under your apps and look under fpl.com. You should be able to download it.
Okay, well, speaking of apps, so I'll show our chamber app. So it's Member Plus. So for those of you that have never downloaded our chamber app, Member Plus, and then you're able to sign up for every event. You can do all the Zoom webinars on there. We have been trying to get people to download this app. You see all the other members, so you're able to contact them. So this is perfect information if you are wanting to connect during this time. You can always go on our website, but you have it right at your hand. More likely you'll have your phone with you than your computer. So Member Plus is our chamber app, and we encourage you to download that as well. This was great information. I was just in the chamber yesterday, and I should have unplugged the copier after I was done. I left the water cooler going. We still have our fridge plugged in. I'm like, okay, I need to get back there and disconnect all these
You're
things.
going to reduce your bill and have additional savings. And I will say
Yes.
one other thing. This is a tip for hurricane season, and this is definitely old school. But, my parents, as I was growing up, always used to have this saying that they're going to eat down the freezer, because they thought, well, we didn't have a generator. So, what happens that you have all this food that starts to melt, you start eating it. So, if you share the same feeling, that you start to eat it down so you don't have to worry about that $30 a pound meat that's in there, and how are you going to eat that when you got everything else that you need to cook. I would suggest, you have a full freezer. It's more efficient than an empty freezer. And where it may come in, and it sounds kind of like an ice box, but if you take a gallon jug, you fill it about 3/4 of the way through to allow for expansion when it freezes. You put that in there. If you have the space, your freezer will be more efficient. It'll help keep things cool if you do have an outage during a hurricane. Plus, as it melts, you're going to have cold water.
Great idea.
Common sense, things like that. So it might be old school, but it worked. And no, I wasn't around when there were ice boxes, by the way, either.
You know, my grandparents had the box on the house where you opened it up and they put the milk in there and then you took it from the other side. Like, I'm thinking, wow, I'm sure now it's all sealed up, but yeah, that was something back in the day. I'm sure they put ice through there as well. But well, this has been great information. Before we sign off, is there anything else any of you had wanted to talk about that we didn't get to? Tiffany or Richard, Bart? No. Our chats, I got one more new one. Let me see. Okay, they just really want to thank you for the information. I think it was wonderful.
That is very
again, Nancy, I want to thank you and Tiffany and Richard for joining us, and Joe for sponsoring. This has been fantastic. Hopefully we can do this again in the future, but we really, truly appreciate your continued partnership.
Well, thank you, Bart. And before we go, then, I just want to do a shout out to some of the people that we had join us, our attendees, because we actually had quite a lot on here today. So we have Geraldine Blanchard, Adam Copenhaver, we have Alfreda Wooten, she's on our board of directors, and with FPL, Beverly Squires Wiggins. We have Blanca Perez and Brian McDonough. Carrie, I'm going to not say that right, Moral Joe. I'm sure that's wrong. Chris Canine and Cindy Hunt, our Director of Membership at the Chamber, Palm Bay Chamber. We have David Cable and Deb Jansen. Denny Watkins is with us. Diane Bryson, Greg Quinones, Jennifer Valier, John Brandy, Joe Rowlett. I have John Haney, Keith G. Oh, my co-host usually. Thanks, Keith. Myrna Colin, Ramon Perez. We have Ryan Blankenship, Stephanie Lanier, Stuart Borton. Yeah, oh, Yellow Dog. Hey, Stuart. Violet Fryer. So we had quite a few people join us. I know we have a lot on our live stream with Facebook, so we can't do a shout out to all of them, but thank you. Really, this information was fabulous. Tiffany, great tips and pointers, and I'll make sure I get into the chamber and reduce our bill and sign up to make sure that's happening. And we'll get this information from the slides onto our Facebook page and onto our website. So anyone that's watching that wants to be able to get all that information again, you'll be able to access that through our chamber. So Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce, our website is the same, and our Facebook page is Greater Palm Bay Chamber. So we thank you all for being with us, and our sponsor, JAG Financial, Joe Gruder, he's amazing, and Bart, really, I'm so glad you guys said yes to this. I know this was the very first time that Florida Power and Light has done one of these, and we're honored that you said yes, and I think it went very, very well, and the information was fabulous. So we'll make sure that we send this out to more of our members, and everybody gets to see this. So thank you all, and until our next chamber chat. So like I said, join us for Brevard Business Professionals, which is on Tuesday, an early morning, 8 to 9:30 a.m., but you'll be able to do virtual networking. So that's going to be a new event for us with the virtual networking, and Linda Cobb will be our keynote speaker. So check out our calendar, check out everything the chamber has going. We are continuing to work hard for you, and if you call the chamber, you're going to get my cell phone. So if you need to be in touch with us, please do not hesitate. We are here to help you through this any way we can. So thank you all. We'll sign off now, and yep, see you on our next chamber chat.
Thank you, Nancy.